Hi there, today I'd like to give you some pointers on how to use discounts properly in your marketing. Now this talk has come about literally since yesterday when I saw an ad on my Facebook feed for a local brewery who were offering me 10% off. And I just thought, 10%, that's not a lot. But what I realised is that 10% seems to be a very, very common offering here in New Zealand. And I got some news for you here in New Zealand. No one gets out of bed for a 10% discount, unless it's 10% on a house, particularly in Auckland, or maybe even for a car. A big spend item, 10% might be a big deal, but for some beer, don't think so. Clothing, again, no one gets out of bed. Haircut, not that it applies to me, no one gets out of bed for 10%. And this is the whole point. And I think, sadly, they've kind of missed the point about giving money off and in their marketing. So I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to leverage giving money off in your marketing. Now, first things first, and it kind of goes against a lot of what you might have thought about marketing, and especially giving money off, is the word discount. I recommend that you remove it from your vocabulary, simply because if someone gets a discount once, they're likely to expect it again and again and again. And you may end up falling into the trap of constantly having to discount whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you offer, just for the sake of making sales. And it's not a great position to be in, because you're constantly having to slash your margins just for the sake of doing business. Now, a much better way of phrasing it is something like special offer, promotion, or something along those lines, offer price, giveaway price. Call it what you want, but don't call it a discount, because discount implies that somebody could have a discount again. Now, when it comes to offering money off, one of the things you really need to consider is whether you're giving money off to the people who already do business with you, just for the sake of getting some turnover from those who are already used to having your services or products, or whether you're offering money off to people who aren't already your customers, which is likely to be the case with this brewery offering me 10% off for the sake of building your database. Now, here's a very important lesson with this. You need to understand the lifetime value of a customer. Simply because if that first time they buy from you is going to be the only time they buy from you, offering a discount or offering money off isn't going to help you. However, if they then are likely, based on their numbers, and you need to know these numbers, the lifetime value, if they're likely to go on to buy from you again and again and again, it's to your advantage to get them on board with a good, sensible, chunky offer, money off, for the first sale, for the sake of getting them into your customer list. Simply because if then they will go on to buy, if they like what you're doing, they'll go on to buy again and again and again, as long as you approach them right and market to them correctly. But it's worthwhile offering a chunky bunch of money off to get them on your list, assuming that there is that ongoing value to you and relationship with your customer. But to be honest, 10% off, no one gets out of bed for 10%. Not on something as on a consumer sale. It just isn't worth it. It's just not exciting to anybody. Had they said 25% off, I might well have taken a serious look, because, you know, I like certain beers and I don't mind spending money on them. I received an offer from a pie delivery company where they were offering a bundle deal. And to be honest, it was pretty blooming good. It didn't say 10% off. It just said X pies for X amount of money. And to be honest, the offer was fairly good. So there was no D word, no discount. It was just special offer, get these pies, this number of pies for this price. And that's a great way of phrasing it. I was more likely, had the brewery done something similar, to go and take a look than I am from just a 10% off. 10%, like I said, very few people get excited about 10% except marketeers. And even then, they're, in my view, deluded, because 10% just isn't enough. However, if they'd said 25% off your first order, with them knowing full well that if they treat me well and treat me right and put, good offers in front of me, I will continue to buy from them, then that would have been worth taking a look at. And this is the thing. If you know the lifetime value of your customer, and let's say it's $1,000, and that $1,000 brings you in, say, $400 worth of profits, net profits, you could easily give away a chunky money off offer just to get them on your database, knowing full well that overall they're going to be worth $1,000 and your profit is going to be $400. That's just an example. If you sell services, your margins will likely be higher still. So it's all a case of understanding the lifetime value of your customer and then making an appropriate offer to get people on your database, to make them get that first order done and dusted, get them to buy from you, get them to spend with you, but make it an offer worth going for. Make it an offer that might get someone excited, that might seem more appealing. You know, if the next ad had been 25% off your first order instead of just 10%, which wasn't too exciting, then I would have likely taken a look. Now, there are all sorts of sales on at the minute. Here in New Zealand, it's Labour Day, so there are all kinds of Labour Day sales on. Some people are offering 40% off stock, which is pretty blooming amazing, and I have taken a look at some. I've recently bought a wetsuit on sale because it was something like 45-50% off the normal retail value. Yeah, I know it's last year's designs, but from my point of view, a wetsuit's a wetsuit. But the thing is, that was a heck of an offer, and I compared it with others in the market for this particular product and thought, actually, I'm getting a good deal there. If they just said 10% off, I would not have bothered at all. So, how to use the D word: money off, special offer, promotion pricing, crazy offer, weekend sale, whatever you want to call it. Make sure it's worth something, especially if you're offering it to new customers where you know that the value of them to you on average is going to be considerably higher than the money you're giving off this particular first order. Make sure it's worth my while. Make sure it excites me. Make sure it's not just 10%. Yeah, it really, really does my head, and genuinely does, because it just isn't exciting. It's just not enough. But anyway, I hope that's really struck a chord with you. If you've got any questions, please let me know. If you disagree, agree, want me to explain anything, please just write in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. So that's it for this one. I really appreciate you tuning in. Remember to like, share, subscribe. But that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and bye for now.